Yes, Maxine Chen, I see Gary Allison Linton, and all the other guys joining us. Guys, welcome, 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 welcome. We got lots of stuff to share with you. Avril Goodman, we see you there. The guys say not hearing. Dolly Anderson Linton and Siobhan McDonald. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix that stuff, guys. We're going to fix that stuff. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Very shortly. Very shortly. Let us know if you guys have us back. Let us know if we're loud and clear. We'll tell you there about that live shot, Sheriff Street, and the railway embankment. And we're giving folks a shout out as well. Maxine and Dolly, Siobhan and Marlene. Marlene says, audio, please, Marlene. Normal, you're please. We don't want to upset Marlene so early. Please. Beatrice and all the other guys. Guys, welcome. You join us. Share that like, smash an emoji button. Well, technician Fidel says loud and clear. Thank you guys. Don't want you guys to miss us for a second. Don't want you guys to miss us for a second, folks. Good to have you. Winston Mirage, good to see you. Alfred Parks, good to see you as well. And Shanette Blackman, great to see you. And all the other guys joining us. Good to see you. Lovely, beautiful folks as well. Yep, Tessa Isaacs is here too, guys. Good morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. Guys, we got some ways to go. Be ready if you guys are with the issues on the morning papers, the headlines making the morning papers. How are things at your end? How was the night before you guys? 8th day of November, believe it or not, already. The 8th of November, already, guys, and we're so happy that you folks are here with us. Nicola, Siobhan, Winston, good to have you. Nigel Polydor is here as well. Good to have you, Nigel. Rhonda Spencer Tom, Zola Cameron, Karen Black is here too, guys. Good to have all of you, each and every one of you. Zola Cameron, Zola. Good to have Zola with us. Great to have you. Zola says, hearing good. Yes, Zola, be happy. Be happy. Facebook user says, watching from up the Wabish River. Good. Rhonda Spencer and Nicola. Good to have you guys too. Beatrice, Karen, Zola, good to have you folks with us. Where are you joining us from? Well, it's Twitter, it's YouTube, it's LinkedIn, it's Facebook. Wherever you guys are joining us from, we're privileged to have you folks with us. It's closer and closer to Christmas, folks. Closer and closer to Christmas. This is the Christmas season, and we're ready to get right away into the morning papers. Hope you guys pull up a cup of something with us today. Pull up a cup of something, and let's get a move on, folks. Into the morning papers. Ayabo and Winston, Isabella, and all the other folks. Hold right there first, guys. Base it over. Winston and Wynella, Claudette, Kakan, Ram Singh, good to have you. And all the other folks joining us. Wynella, how is your son doing? Say good day for us, please. Wynella and Claudette and everybody else. How are our family doing, man? Please. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, guys. Pull up a cup of something with us. Milo, tea, coffee, tea. You know, whatever. Pull up a cup of something. Lynn Finance, great to see you as well. Selling some energy your way, folks. Lynn Finance, great to see you, Lynn. Great to see you. Lena, there's going to be some rain too. Lena Williams, good to have each and every one. Lynn, thanks for the thing. Lynn, thanks for the thing. Yeah, what do you think, huh? Sorry, that's so fast. Thanks for the thing, Lynn. Don't worry, us. Lynn, thanks for the thing. What thing? So I hear somebody else say, what thing? Don't worry that. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you. Natasha, Ayabo Conways, Winston, Michaela Andrews, and all the other folks joining us. Great to see each and every one of you guys. Great to see each and every one of you. We're happy, tremendously happy that you guys are here. A few things in the morning papers we think you guys all know about, guys. Folks, good morning. Family, good morning. Family, good morning. Each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from, we're happy to have you guys here with us. And if you're high and dry this morning, oh, thank you, lucky stars. Not everybody is the same way. Believe it or not, not everybody is the same way. Kurt, hi, Kurt. It'll be good to see you, Kurt. Good to see you, Kurt. If you're high and dry, thank you, lucky stars. Not everybody that way. Believe it or not, because the folks in Saudi housing scheme, they don't have it the same way. They've been flooded out, guys. Flooded out. And we hope they get the necessary help to get back on their feet and dry land. Flooded out. The folks in Saudi right? The folks in Sunny, flooded out folks, thoughts and prayers with them. Thoughts and prayers with them. You know what is it to have to bail out water from your house? You know what's that like? To have to bail out water, folks. I lived in a place one time I was flooded out. Similarly, I did so much bailing, folks, the back pain stayed with me. The back pain stayed with me. Years ago, the back pain stayed with me. Right? When the rain subsided, I moved immediately. I went to high ground. I went to higher ground. You know? I look for places the flow in high. Right? Wherever the flow is high, right, you got the benefit not to hit the roof. That's what. Make it flat. I got the neck problems now. From back problems to neck problem. But we commensurate with the people of Saudi. We commensurate with the people of Saudi there. Thoughts and prayers go to you guys, and we hope that the administration put everything in place that you guys can get back on your feet very, 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 very quickly. Yep, that's what's going on. Exciting, folks. You know, we've been talking about this carbon credit sale and the windfall that we're going to get from that. Some of it they've already said going to the indigenous communities, according to them, right? We live in a place where unless you see with your own eyes and touch with your own hand, yes, it is alleged. So then give the indigenous community some of the funds, our brothers and sisters there. And now they're telling us, the National Resource Minister, Vikram Bharat, that Ghana has to pay 108 million US, right, as a verification fee before receiving the 187 million from the carbon credit sale. You got to pay a verification fee first. This sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me. I don't know. You know those guys who call you and said, "Oh, we got a package for you here at the airport." Somebody sent a package value $500,000. The contents for you at the airport, but you're not going to GPU and pay 50,000 first, and then come to the airport for your package. This is that kind of thing. You got to pay 1.8 million US verification fee first, and then you get the carbon credit. This is like a consultation fee to me. A consultation fee. You know how the boys did? That is why it sounds like a consultation fee to us. So Ponzi schemish. But we hope all goes well. We hope all goes well. Folks, wherever you're joining us from this morning, do us a big favor. Share the live, smash that emoji button first, guys, and then we move it around. We move on. Tell me a Ponzi scheme to us, guys. But it is what it is. We're going to continue to track that and to monitor it. Folks, them boys getting desperate. You know it's the season. You know it's the season. Don't feel like if one day come, you just lash out with a big Christmas tree on the counter. Right? It's the season. And them boys, the devil stunts, they're even more desperate. We told you, just 2 days ago, 2 money changers on America Street, America Wire Streets, were robbed. 2 money changers on America Street, robbed. One was shot. Broad daylight with people moving around the place. And the criminals felt that they could move with such impunity. There's an outpost just around the corner by the Starbuck Market Square, a police outpost. At least it's supposed to be. And them boys didn't care. The fellas didn't care at all. Well, they're telling us on the seawall, another brazen theft this time. Right? The teams have carted off with a vendor mobile container snacket from the seawall. The whole snacket, the thief. Folks, you have to understand this here. They just break in the snacket by the seawall. They stole the whole snacket. The whole mobile canteen. Right? That's how desperate the boys desperate. Donald Joseph, we see you there, and Davis as well. Abiola had to then break in this snacket. You think you understand that? Here's how brazen they are. You can't conceal a snacket and jump in a bus and nobody knows. Somebody's going to come to a vehicle and tow it. Folks, they stole the whole snacket. So they see a snacket driving past you. You might need to take some photographs or some video and send it all the way. The thief, the whole snacket. Sadly, you got to be on your guard here, folks. You got to be vigilant. Because the minute you slip, them boys gone with you. A pilot slipped recently, and they're gone with him. The minute you slip, they gone with you. You remember we told you yesterday, we were so proud of the Civil Aviation Authority, Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, for grounding a flight because they had the wrong propellers on it, right? That's what we said. The wrong propellers on it, grounding a helicopter, and it also was involved in some infraction, some accident, and they had failed to report that. They had failed to log it. Right? You don't want to be no helicopter and it has the wrong propeller and might fall off and fall out the sky at any given moment. You don't want that. No, we don't. Right? You know what? We're learning them by firing the whistleblower. A pilot made this admission, and even though the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, Ghana Civil Aviation Authority confirmed that the helicopter was grounded, right? Because of the very reasons, they have fired the pilot who voiced the concerns. They fired the pilot, right? Because this is how we live in this beautiful country of ours, where we say, Jesus will give me Barabbas. Give us Barabbas. They fired the pilot who made known that this helicopter had some issues. That's what we're learning from the press this morning, folks. That's what we're learning from the reports. They fired the pilot. That's why we say Ghana is the greatest country on earth. It is the greatest country on earth. Right? We have some close seconds, folks. We have some close seconds. As we turn our attention to international news, you will see we got some close seconds. As we turn, Sissy no girl, hold it right there for us, guys. Brace it over right there. Claudette Clark and Marlon Lorimer, Chanel Belgrave, Sissy Girl, Tommy Gibbs. Y'all will see we got some close seconds. We'll be running, folks. Share the light, smash that emoji button for us. As Marlon Lorimer says, Lord help us. Father help me. Folks, you know this thing I'm working like a child that we'll see in Korea. International news, we got some people coming in a close second because they're telling us, guys, in Iran, that we've been looking at those protests that started over the killing of that young lady who was involved in a protest action. She didn't have her head covered and so on. She was injured in some way. They took her to the hospital. And then she died for something you shouldn't really die from. Since that day, there have been protests in Iran for the way in which women have been treated, among other issues. Among other issues, there have been protests. Folks, the Ayatollah, Ali Khomeini, the Ayatollah there, his sister has come out denouncing his actions, the actions of the government there and the Revolutionary Guard. In a letter, his sister, the Ayatollah's sister, wrote to her son, who lives, I think, in Italy, and he made the letter public. She wrote to him on the atrocities that are being committed back home and what she feels should be done. And her son, they're telling us, released the letter on Twitter. And she said, what are you doing is nonsense. What they're doing is foolishness. The leader sister. That's what she said. What they're doing is foolishness. And she called on them to take a step back, to reverse their actions before it's too late. There are massive protests happening in Iran. A number of protesters have been killed, detained, you name it. And a former president of Iran came out saying, this is nonsense, we need to stop while we have the chance. And now the supreme leader, Ayatollah Khomeini, his sister, has now come out saying, y'all stop this foolishness. I'm a brother doing nonsense. You know, this reminded me of when Dr. Cherry Jagan's daughter, a few years ago, came out saying, you know, my father will be rolling in his grave when he see how Jack Judah living in the big mansions, you know, the opulence, because Chelly Jago was a down-to-earth people's person, right? She said that his daughter, Chelly Jago's daughter, wrote a scathing letter in the press condemning the foolishness that was happening in the PPP then. Well, she must be mesmerized now with how them boys operate. She said her father wouldn't you know, take kindly, having been alive, to how the country was being governed. It was friends, family, and favorites since then. She said they wouldn't have taken too kindly to it. This is reminiscent of that, what's happening in Iran with the system, the supreme leader coming out in this way and making her thoughts known. And while that is happening too in Mozambique, the former president's son, he's in a bit of trouble himself. He's in a bit of trouble. Armando Gobazu, he's in some trouble himself. Gobezu, the former president's son, and 10 other persons have been found guilty of what they're calling a $2 billion hidden debt scandal. And the report says that it has, thank you very much. The report says it has crushed the South African nation's economy. And he, along with some others, have been sentenced to 10 years each in prison. 10 years each in prison. The difference is on places, you know, when people talk about good governance, they mean it. They mean it. When people talk about rule of law, they mean it all that equal before the law. So Armando Gubezu is now, you know, going to be spending some time behind bars, reflecting on his actions. Guilty on charges of related to this $2 billion hidden debt scandal. They said crash the economy. Roll up a whole second debt and don't tell nobody. Yeah, wrong a whole second debt. A lot of people spend this on the hard way, both men and women. Sometimes the husband passes on, then the wife realizes everybody and the son, and sometimes vice versa. Hidden debt, $2 billion. Armando Gubezu, yeah. Thoughts and prayers with the Mozambican people. The people of Mozambique, yeah. $2 billion in debt. Mozambique. But again, in some other places when they say we're all equal before the law, they mean it. We are all equal before the law. That's some of the shenanigans we see otherwise. We turn attention to some other stuff happening around the region. It gets worse. Like it's not a month for people in power and the people with proximity to power. Because in regional news, guys, you remember we told you about this story in Argentina. Cristina de Kircher, for her part in some corrupt practices. She got 6 years in jail recently. That is Argentina. Now, folks, in Guatemala, a court has just sentenced the former president, Otto Perez, and his vice president, after finding them guilty in similar corrupt activities. The ex-president Otto Perez of Guatemala and his vice president's different now. You know, vice president different now. It's a good thing the vice president is a church boy. It's a good thing he's an altar boy. You see, and he's straight and narrow. Right? It's a good thing he's an altar boy. Otto Perez and vice president sentenced in Guatemala because they believe we all equal before the law. That's their belief. They believe in good governance. They believe in accountability and transparency on that side. Yeah. We should take up to the 592, guys. to see what's brewing on this side. What's brewing? I have a couple original tea, black tea here, black. That's what's brewing at my end. That's what's brewing in the 592. That is what's brewing. Guys, Annette, good to see you. Share the live for us and smash that emoji button as well. Granite Anderson, great to see you, Granite, and Marlon, of course, Marlon Laura, and John Magwell. Great to see you folks. In the 592, folks, it's full animal farm. We told you about the Brahmin bull, right? They said they bring in here also the giant black chicken, the giant black chicken, right? They bring in the Brahmin bull, the giant black chicken, is it the black-headed shrimp? It's full animal farm. Now we see the Brazilian giant dwarf coconut. Sorry, the Brazilian green dwarf coconut. Is everybody eating those? Right? Everybody take a piece of land to see how the country could benefit from. It's just we. Kind of fighting for Lani. Then people bring the blackberry sheep, the Brahmin bull, the giant black chicken. You name it. The blackfoot, blackberry, black something shrimp. And now the green dwarf coconuts have made their way here, folks. They have made their way here. And you who trying to get in a house lap. Right? What's the average measurement? 50 by 6? I don't know. You get to the royal run around. The royal run around. It's a green dwarf coconuts, folks. The list keeps adding up. They bring the black belly sheep from here, the Brahmin bull, they bring from someplace, dark cat, hen, the giant black chicken. Now is the green dwarf coconut for you guys. The green dwarf coconut, folks. The green dwarf coconut. Right. You got some information for us? You got a story for us? We want to know about it, guys. If you got a story for us, we want to know about it. Please and thank you. Please and thank you, guys. And if you got any legal needs, if you have any legal needs, the Alistair Collins firm is the one for you.
For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of votes to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it. For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of votes to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when
you need it, folks. Help when you need it. Help when you need it. Don't feel left out. Don't feel left out. We want to advertise your product now for you folks. Call it now. We want to advertise your product, your service, your business, your event. We want to advertise this so it gets to the folks who you want to see it. We want to advertise it for you right there. Could be your ad. Right there. Right there. Call now, folks. Right. Book that space now. Book that space now. Book now. Book now, folks. Book now. Your ad could be right there. Back to some of what's brewing. Back to some of what's brewing locally, folks. Minister of Education, Pray Manager, met with the parents, the PTA, at Graham's Hall, primary overcrowding. Is this like the end of the term? Isn't this stuff that you do like before, school start, during the term? Isn't that the end of the term? Better late than never. Thanks, guys. Better late than never. A number of our schools have been facing the issue of overcrowding, and they're not doing it too well. Some tents outside the East Rumville Secondary School that's supposed to be temporary seem to be becoming permanent. Right? They've now built a shed over the tents. Some schools are getting new buildings and new wings and so on. And some schools, tent. Some schools get tent. And so the Minister of Education, Pierre Banichan, met yesterday at Graham's Primary School with the PTA body, again, over issues of overcrowding. Our students deserve a conducive environment in which learning can take place. Right? A conducive environment. Right? The classrooms must be manageable sizes, and teachers in and of themselves need to be given the adequate resources to get the job done. The adequate resources to get the job done. Right? So we hope the issue there at Graham's Hall Primary is addressed in a very, very short order. We hope that is addressed, folks. Please and thank you. Our children deserve better. We hope we don't see school reopening and this matter continues being kicked down the road. We hope you can actually solve it. Leadership and leaders got to solve problems. Solve problems. Not just kick the can down the road and say, oh, somebody left it so, or some silly thing like that. We got to solve problems. Please, let's do that. Let's do that, folks. Marad is telling us that there is no hike in speedboat fares, what they call water taxis. Wow. Boys, water taxi fares. Right? The Maritime Authority, that's what they're telling us. No increase in taxi fares. Things are tough. And what the boat drivers are doing, the boat captains, is what business people do all the time. Pass the extra on to the consumers. Pass the increase on to the consumers. Those boys got to go buy gasoline. They got to do maintenance on their boats. And they know what the squeeze is. So don't come along them funny. But, I want to see how they're going to enforce this. Because if them boys feeling the squeeze, you can't tell them nothing. Them boys, they say, we can't put you back. You can't tell them boys nothing. And that, sadly, is the reality of it. That is the reality of it. Sad to say, it is the reality of it. And so, when you go and you use a speedboat, know that there is no sanction that you should be paying any increased fares. Remember, can that be enforced? That's the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter. That'll be it. Three persons who appeared before the Ghana Elections Commission quite recently, they have said that they're exercising their right to remain silent. The same thing again, the attorney to begin Clark up. Only when she was advising her client to remain silent. But these three persons have said, hold right there first, guys. We have said that they are exercising their right to remain silent. And that is precisely what they did when they went before the commission. Because every person has a right not to incriminate himself. Right? Not to engage in activity of self-incrimination. And so they exercised that right. You see? They exercised that right. And these persons, there's a fourth person now from which he come as well, Michelle Miller, who is also exercising that right, called before the commission and exercising that right to remain silent. These staff of GCOM are also part of ongoing litigation in the magistrates court. So more importantly, they're exercising this right not to incriminate themselves in their own by their own testimonies. And the three employees now, three employees of GCOM are now suing the state, which they have accused of breaching their constitutional rights to a fair hearing and again self-incrimination. Is Dennis Bob Cummins, Sheffield February, and Carolyn Duncan. Carolyn Duncan, you know us Duncans. Dennis Bob Cummins, Sheffield February, and Carolyn Duncan suing the state for breaching their constitutional right to a fair hearing and against self-incrimination. Yeah. We followed that and that one, and then we did see Michelle Miller is the fourth person now who exercised it. All three of them exercised the right to remain silent when they appeared before the commission. And now GCOM employee Michelle Miller also is exercising that right, folks, to remain silent. Sometimes I don't even realize the commission is still meeting. Don't even realize them boys still meeting and doing what they gotta do. Right? Don't even realize they're still meeting. But check the pulse every now and again. Folks, we told you of this situation, as it were, concerning Karen Mickle. Come on, guys. Let's tell the folks what they're watching at. About Karen Mickle. Now, Karen Mickle is that woman who was in an abusive relationship for a long time, well over 15 years. And she's trying to extricate herself from that. Right? With the encouragement of her, with the support rather of her family and friends and so on. Pulling herself, she's fed up of the abuse. And she said, even though she has left her partner, at least on 2 occasions, he found her and beat her up. On 2 occasions. And so fed up she was of what was happening and not getting any satisfaction from the police, she went to Starbuck News with her story. And Starbuck News published it. And that's how we came into contact with it. She went to Starbuck News. Karen Mickle is her name. And of course, we've told you here about this period of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And we have said, I have said, that though it's a very important time internationally, locally, it's 16 days of hypocrisy. 16 days of hypocrisy. Because women are ill-treated, and oftentimes when it is done by somebody who has PPP affiliation, nothing is done. And so they are hypocrites. You got O.C. Rogers, you got issues with Kwame McCoy, you have Tabitha Sarabhali, you got issue with Nigel Darlal and Natasha Singh Lewis. And 2 of those are MPs. But you see, when you got PPP covering, you're safe. You don't get call out and face the full brunt of the law when you get the covering from the PPP. But now, during 16 days of activism, everybody with photo ops and so on, they care and they're so concerned. They care and they are so concerned. That's what they're telling us. That is what they will have us to believe. Right? Sabbath News, following up on that issue, is saying pretty much the same thing. That these guys are hypocrites. And they're pointing out the police in particular. Bring up the graphic first, guys. They're picking up with the police in particular. Here it says in today's editorial in Sabbath News, Karen's experience at the Wim police station. Remember we said she wasn't getting any satisfaction from the police. That's how she ended up at Sabbath News. This woman could have been dead, for all you're concerned. Karen's experience at the Wim police station is at odds with the speech delivered by Deputy Commissioner of Police, referring to that program, right, at a November 25th event. And at that event, he said that there is a hands-on approach on these domestic violence matters. Hands-on approach on domestic violence matters. Sabak News says DCP, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Burram, was quoted as telling the gathering, referring to the divisional commander's involvement. Hands-on! That's what they said. Sabak News goes on to say, that is definitely not the case at WIM. That is definitely not the case of WIM. I can tell y'all, there's 16 days of hypocrisy. 16 days of hypocrisy. Because WIM is one of the places that Karen would have gone. And it didn't pay she no mind. That's how she beat the Sabak News. It didn't pay any mind. I'm telling you all, it's 16 days of hypocrisy. Sheila Boy Child, good morning to you. Respect and manners. 16 days of nonsense. The concept is beautiful. That we must highlight what's happening, the strides that have been made, and where we're going. But these boys is hypocrisy. Sabak News says it's definitely not the case at WIM. Hopefully, Mr. Burram is hands-on enough and has already personally followed up Karen's complaint. You know why? You know why a lot of Karen complain? Because Sabak News bust it out. About she keep running up in the next 5 years, so she end up dead in a drain somewhere. And that's the only thing this government responds to, protests. And protests not only in the street, protests can be what Karen did. You go and you talk your story. Who vex? Because some of them more vex that you talk about their inaction than actually trying to change the system for the better. Sabak News says, given the direction these cases often take, and in the view of the threats issued, a woman's life could be very well be hanging in the balance. 16 days of hypocrisy. Thanks, guys. 16 days of hypocrisy. That's what it is. 16 days of hypocrisy. And you gotta beg them. That woman has been running to the police station. She's exhausted. And she went to Starbucks and she said, "Oh, tired. Help. Help." She's crying for help. And by said, we're involved in the story. And then they say, "Oh, we're hands-on. We're hands-on in gender-based violence." Hypocrisy. Because you know why? Photo ops. It is politically right to do so now. Oh, we're hands-on. We love everybody. We treat the situation as very serious. Hands-on. Tell somebody to end up in a drain there. And then you can hear, "Oh, should have filed 3 complaints by the police office, the police station." But it never comes to check out one time. Never comes to check out one time. And folks, the big issue this morning, the big issue, we turn our attention to what's been happening. Hold it over right there for us, guys. What's been happening at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation. We told you about some of it last evening on our program. Young man ended up in an accident, admitted there as a patient. 6 days, it is alleged, he waited for some life-saving surgery. He never received it. Preventable deaths. Everybody wants their life to matter, to count for something. Right? People don't want to die foolishly. People don't want to die foolishly. And some of the issues we're grappling with as a country, hold it over right there for us, guys. Some of the issues we're grappling with as a country has already been solved in other places. We seem like we're trying to reinvent the wheel. Huh? You get a little nail board, that could kill you in this country. You cut your nail wrong, that could mean the end of your life. That's the reality of it. You fall in the wrong hands. You go to a public institution, you know they say proverbially, can't eat your dinner. Yes. As simple as that. As simple as that. We told you last evening of Quaison Benjamin. Injured from an accident. Thanks, guys. Quaison Benjamin. Injured from an accident. And it's alleged that he was admitted as a patient, never received the care, the quality of care he deserved. 6 days, his family said, put out a long statement on social media. He was there as a patient, never got the quality of care he deserved. And that then bodies come out and say, is available. Never got it. Interestingly, the Metford family had a similar situation as the Benjamins. Thoughts and prayers go out to Quaison Benjamin's entire family. The Metford family at the same institution around the same time. Right? And again, don't get vexed because the family spoke out. Fix the damn problem. Don't get vexed because Karen Mickle spoke out about how she's being abused and there seems to be no escape, even when you run to the police. Don't get vexed, fix the damn problem. Right? Or be vexed in the right direction. Be vexed enough to fix the system. The Metford family had a similar situation where they alleged their father was abandoned too. Right? They kept insisting he had one ailment, and they said, independent tests showed no such thing. Or no, they're still uncertain what his ailment was. Or no, but similar situation to Quaison Benjamin. Little Metford, agonizing, grieving the death of her father, her beloved father, husband to her mother, father to her, a brother, a friend to many, a businessman. She said he was a public servant. Love, she said to us, that he didn't want to go private. He believed in the public institution. Believed with every fiber of his being in the public institution. And resisted them taking him to a private hospital. For public. Right? This is what she told us in addition.
On the 7th of November, on the afternoon of the 7th of November, I took my father, Leon Metford, to the emergency room at Georgetown Public Hospital. He was complaining of back pains, of a prior surgery. That's what we thought it was. But obviously you would go to an institution to find out what really was causing the ailment. As we arrived at the emergency room, he was triaged and he was taken to the trauma room. From that afternoon to 4 a.m., my father was not looked at. He was given painkillers, and he was checked in once in a while from the nurses, but I had no idea who his doctor was. I had no idea what was to expect. I didn't know if he was admitted. I didn't know if, what to expect. At 4 a.m., I left the ward after tending to my father. I left, and on my way home, I was called by him to say that he was put off his bed. The bed that I made for him and set for him, he was put off he was put off the bed, and someone else was placed on his bed. I immediately went back to the hospital with another set of supplies for him and found him on another bed, lying cold straight. So we prepared that bed for him, leaving the other material on the bed with the patient they placed. And he was in a really calm state, so I remained calm for that moment. At around 8 that morning, I remember a group of doctors. At that point, I didn't know they were surgeons, but they came through the ward and they were checking patients. However, they stopped at a woman next to my father's bed and then left. At that point, I had no information from the nurses or doctors in the ward as to who was tending to my father or what we were waiting for. I consulted with the nurse and I asked, I said, was my father to be checked? What is happening? At that point, she told me that he was admitted, but there were no beds in the male ward upstairs. So I said, could there be a chance that he wasn't checked? She said, I don't know, ask his doctor. I said, who's his doctor? She couldn't answer. No one in the ward could tell me who was my father's doctor. However, at 3:30 or so that afternoon, all day, he was given painkillers. At 3:30 that afternoon, I spoke with a doctor, and she said he was now going to be taken up to the male's ward. I said, are you his doctor? Are you now looking at him? She said, yes. I got her name, and they took him up to the male ward. At that point, I was informed that I couldn't stay at the hospital because they had specific visiting hours and I had to leave. I asked her, I said, I was here all day, the day before, so I really need to have some time to go and come back so that I can make him comfortable. I left and I came back at around 5:30. When I returned, my father was lying there. He couldn't respond. He had a lisp. He couldn't move. His condition got worse. I noticed that his tummy was swelling and it had a strange, color to it. So I called the nurse immediately and I said, listen, my father's here and I think he's experiencing something that he hasn't before since he's been in the emergency room. And she checked his tummy and she confirmed that it was a bit strange and stiff. I said, could you call a doctor? She said, no, the doctors come the next morning at 9. I said, but he's in a condition where it could be fatal. It could be an emergency. She said, well, she can't do anything. She has to wait until the next morning when the doctors come to the ward. With that, I was told that I needed to leave the male surgical ward and I because of the visiting hours. I left my father there and I, just out of instinct, I took 2 numbers of the patients sharing the room with him, 2 phone numbers. At 9 that night, I called to check on my father, and he was in a deep sleep, one of the patients said, and I still couldn't understand what he was saying. They said he was getting saline. So with that, I went to bed. At 4 something that morning, I was called by a patient in that room, in my father's room. And this is exactly what he said to me. He said, girl, come down to this hospital. One of you need to come because for the last couple of hours, we've been calling these nurses. Your father has been on the floor, hollering for pain, vomiting. I took my tube out. I went over to him and helped him back on the bed. But, he's still hollering for pain. None of the nurses are coming. We're calling now. These nurses are just about a few yards away from this door. They can see in the room. So they must have heard these patients calling. And this was an account from 3 of the patients. So with that phone call, I left and I went to the hospital. I walked through. The security was sleeping. We went upstairs because at that point I was nervous. I wanted to know because he said that my father he wasn't moving. I think you guys should come because he's not moving. So we got into the ward, and where the ward is, you can stand at the corridor and you can see the door to the room, and you can see the nurses to your right. So I could have seen my father on his bed. As I entered that room, he was slunched over, hanging over, half of his body off of the bed, his head almost touching the floor. He had vomit through his mouth and nose. His eyes were opened. He was clutching the bed as if he was trying to raise himself back up. And he was stiff to touch and cold. At that point, you just knew it. He was stiff. I got startled and I ran out.
Yep. In her own words, a grieving family, another grieving family. And we say, don't get upset. Do not get upset with the Metfords telling their story, speaking their truth. Fix the system that other Guyanese and other people don't have to go through that and suffer from it. The hurting family, the grieving family. And it's by sheer coincidence that here is Chris and Benjamin, alleged to have been involved in that accident when they couldn't get help. couldn't get life-saving surgery that he needed. That's according to the family. That's what the family is alleging. And almost at the same time, at the same institution, you got Mr. Metford fighting for his life and seemingly abandoned. And that is what President Benjamin's family says, the heart of it. He was abandoned as a patient, left unattended as a patient. And that is what the Metford family is saying as well. Their father resisted going private, trusted the system that abandoned him. At least in the family's impression, abandoned him. Don't get vexed with them. I have a Natasha Congress, can we fix the problem? Margaret Nelson, Gwyneth Anderson, can we fix the problem? You know, it will appear that Georgetown Hospital was turning a corner on this kind of history, this kind of experience, turning a corner, bringing down maternal deaths. How many women we pointed out here last month died at the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation? Maternal deaths alone. Maternal deaths alone. When it's New Amsterdam, it's someplace else in the healthcare system. How many? Don't get vexed with the people. You know? Don't get vexed with the people. And Ms. Metford told us she's been trying to reach the minister to no avail. To no avail. To no avail. You see? The minister don't want to meet with her. That's why she can't meet him. Right? If something happened now, you can get a photo up with Irfan. You can get a photo up with Frank. Right? The right situation presents itself, they will drop everything if they're not seeing you because they don't want to see you. The people want answers. They want closure. That's what they want. They want answers and they want closure. That's the least we can do for them. You see? The least we can do for them. The man had a family who cared for him. People think because they go to Georgia because they're poor and you can't go no place else. She said he stood up in her car when they were taking him private and said, no, I want to go to Georgia. People got the preference. You might have had a good experience there sometime in the past. Who knows? Who knows? Might have had a good experience there. He had faith in the system. Clearly, the system had no faith in him. From the account of his treatment, his daughter shared with us, they had no faith in Mr. Metford. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Let them have justice. You see? Right. Frank is already performing poorly. You meet with Ms. Metford and the family for an hour or so, they can make a difference in your performance. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Professionally, as a minister, besides just photo ops, they want a thorough investigation to why their father had to lose his life. Why? And they tell us, cause of death, inconclusive. Inconclusive. We're going to give you guys another opportunity to hear our full story or our full account later on in the day. We're going to give you guys an opportunity to do so. To hear the full account stand board. Folks, we got oil money. Oh. Some other countries have used that to their benefit and better the systems that they have. Whether it's health, it's education, it's public safety, you name it. Better the standard of living. Better it. Right? With all the health facilities we got, private and public, and we still poor in this regard. Something wrong with we. Something wrong with we. Let me bring the people who know. We got the money, hide them from overseas to show us how we could upgrade this system so that people don't have to die from some of the things you hear them dying from. You know, I talk with a lot of health professionals, especially Guyanese who work overseas and they come home. And they tell us, oh God, you know they work overseas for years, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. They're fully assimilated into the healthcare mentality and thinking. They say, I don't know how people survive. When they go and they see the systems that are in place, they say, I don't know. God himself preserving life in this country. When they engage with the healthcare system and they see what's going on, it says, God himself. God himself. Right? God himself. The people want answers. Let's give them some answers and get closure for this family. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Metford family, your friends and loved ones. Friends and loved ones. We're going to give you guys an opportunity to hear the rest of that later on in the day. Malika King, we see you there. We got to get better. Added Cummins, Winston Henry, Bishop Jeffrey, we got to get better. Peter Jeffrey joining us out of the United Kingdom. Bishop Jeffrey, good to have you on this morning, sir. Neon Harding and Annette Cummins, we see you there. Annette and Sharon Mackenzie. You know, people often call me Sharon. You know, they forget the D at the end, Sharon. you know. But don't get upset. They say no more people call this, what you answer to. Right? They call me a lot of names. It's what you answer to. I love that. It's not what people call you. It's what you answer to. Marlon Seaford, we see you there. Wayne Anthony, Bobble Matthew, joining us from the beautiful St. Kitts and Nevis. How are you doing, Wayne? How is St. Kitts and Nevis? St. Kitts and Nevis, folks, beautiful. Beautiful beyond measure. And let me tell you something. This morning happened. People try to say you come from some big bang. And we started as apes and all kind of fooling. This morning happened. When you see places like St. Kitts and Nevis, not Wayne. Wayne is the exception. You see intelligent design. I can spark a whole debate now. You see intelligent design. When you see how God carved out the mountains and valleys of St. Kitts and Nevis, my Lord. I went to a place called Tabernacle. The name struck me because when you go there, you feel like you're closer to the Almighty, I'm telling you. You're in the Tabernacle, they call it Taber for short. Took an early morning walk with my host, about 2 or 3 miles, meandering some roads. You know, it's lush hills on one side, and there's the beautiful Caribbean Sea on the other side. And they say on a clear day, they were pointing out, you could see, I think, Martinique, one of those places, one of those islands in the distance. Beautiful. Folks, you want to wake up with a hammock, a little book, some pepper pot, and you're just chilling in that breeze. I had a good time. You know, say to wake up a couple of days and you won't have to see the PPP. Christmas came early for me. Christmas came early for me. You see, I had a good couple of days in St. Kitts and Nevis the other day, about a month or 2 ago, and a couple of days in Antigua and Barbuda. You got to go through Antigua to get this in Kitts and Nevis. Unless you're coming from London, British Airways flies directly to St. Kitts. You got to go through. If you're coming from this side, you got to go through Antigua. Spend a couple of days in Antigua. Had a beautiful experience there as well. Antigua is immensely beautiful too. You know, they got a beach every day in the year. That's nice time. That's nice time. Every day in the year they got a beach. Real nice time. But it was my first time in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I was tremendously impressed. The airport could use a little fixture up, and they're doing that. But otherwise, folks, yeah, I'm going North America, Canada. We got some beautiful islands right in the Caribbean Sea. Spectacular. People, culture, you know, islands, people talking French and, you know, and Creole, all kinds of languages, right wrong way. And we ain't gonna go far. Look, I can make a plug now for Onage, right? We ain't gonna go far. Locally, you go to some places right in this country, right in Guyana. Notice I say Guyana. You go to some places right here. Look at that scenery there. Oh my God, it was beautiful. I had a lovely time. Thanks, guys. You go to some places locally. Morocco. When I went to Morocco, every station was Portuguese or something like that because they're so close to the border. The influence you hear the beautiful people of Morocco talk. You're a fellow Guyanese and you think they're from over the border. Right? They got an accent. And some other instances, folks, you hear our indigenous brothers and sisters talk. The English language is like they come from Great Britain. The English is crisp. We can't brook up in comparison to some indigenous brothers and sisters. The English language is crisp. Some other instances, right? The foreign influence, the border influence is so heavy on them. They speak better Portuguese and Spanish, than they can talk English language. And that's just the kind of melting pot we are. Go to Latam, and you feel the influence of Brazil on us. All the Brazilian radio stations and television stations we're watching. Then they tell you NCN and DPI. You see? They fast to say Viva, what's the father name from there? Santoki, Viva Santoki. Beautiful country. Guyana is not Georgetown. It's not Region 4. It's not Region 6-9. It's a huge, beautiful expanse. One of the places that really and truly appealed to me is Cato and Paramakatoy. So high above sea level, you feel like it's snowing. It's so cold. As soon as I went to Paramakatoy, I said, it's a good place to run. I didn't go to run. I can't remember why I went there. I run from the airstrip right to the village. It's about 2 or 3 miles. The atmosphere, the air was so pure and so clean. You're seeing garbage. You're seeing the PPP. You see? It's just beautiful scenery for thousands of miles. It's just open space. No car exhaust. Trees. Savannah. No crosses. No trench crapos. No prostitutes. Because see your own country, folks. See your own country. See the Caribbean. Beautiful. Picturesque. Right? Some of y'all in Canada. Some people like to go for visa. You got no visa for go to Morocco. Right? Aichuni, Kokwani. You got a visa. Pick up your family and say, this is the weekend. This is the weekend. I could hear your wife saying, it's a breeze, bro. Unless you get in there. Unless you get in. I'm making a plug for local tourism. Yeah, we got some nice places. Right? That is Morocco, and that's the bridge. The previous one is the bridge the coalition fixed. When we took over that bridge, they did falling apart in Morocco. David Patterson and his team at infrastructure built a beautiful bridge there in Morocco. The people of Morocco are beautiful people. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. That's our time, folks. That's our program. We're going to pick it back with you guys later on in the day. We're going to pick it back with you guys later in the day. Marlon Larmock, Bennett Anderson, Annette Cummins, Facebook user, I am Natasha Congress, Dahlia Anderson Linton, and all the other folks joining us. Share the like, smash that emoji button for us, and partner with us as well as how we keep moving on and on and on and on. Stay safe, guys. Have a great day. Cash App, we're available via MMG, Zelle, PayPal, MoneyGram, Western Union as well. Good folks. Partner with us is how we keep these programs moving. It's how we keep rolling. Stay safe, guys. Go ahead and have a great day. Take care.